Right. Now, here's what I thought. Picture of me, the headland in the background, right? And a caption is Cold Uncley's bold plan for Arcadia Waters.
It's a bit late, Cole.
Well, I need something big, mate.
If you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, or even last
week,
week,
be huge.
it's too late.
No, it's never too late. I need you to get across that I'm a man of vision, that I've got big ideas for this place.
Like what ideas?
Well, do something with it, you know, develop it, but not something ordinary, something, you know, something world-class, something tremendously exciting, something amazing.
So what are we talking here, fun fair?
No.
Disneyland, satellite launch facilities?
No, houses and shops, you know.
Oh.
No, but really good houses and shops by all the best designers and architects.
Yeah, but don't you think if you go public with a big idea 2 days before the election, it's only going to make you look desperate?
Yeah, I thought you could do it in a way that makes me look confident.
It's getting a bit hard, Cole, when you're starting to sound a bit desperate.
Nah, mate. Not me. Nah. No way.
Hang on, hold on a minute. Karen Schumacher, isn't it? Biddy Marchant.
Hello, Biddy.
Small world. We'll go somewhere else. No, come on, there's room enough for everyone. We're lucky we live in a democracy. We were going anyway. As soon as she's gone, go and cover all of Cole's posters and hers as well.
Now, here's the problem. Biddy has unfortunately got a good chance this time. I mean, if you keep saying as often as she does that the council's corrupt and you give no evidence because there isn't any.
What about Darryl?
What about Darryl?
Well, isn't he a crook?
Darryl's too stupid to be crooked.
It doesn't take too many brains, Cole.
Yeah, don't you worry about Darryl. He's harmless now.
Ah, now he...
No, we've made him harmless. I do not believe this. I just believe this. Yeah, Greg, I'm on my way in. I've just come to the new bus shelter and it's still not... No, it's not finished. Why isn't it? Yeah, but 3 months, Greg. Where's George? Look, get George and yourself into my office and be there when I arrive. Do you believe this?
No, but what's more important is you don't believe it.
Why is that more important?
Because you're the mayor.
Exactly.
And if you can't get a bus shelter built,
Exactly.
who can?
Exactly. I want people to see the difference between Biddy and me. I care about this place. You know, I've got plans. All she wants is a bit of profile so she can get a leg up into Parliament. And, mate, that is what I want the front page to be about.
I can't do that story for you.
Yeah, make everyone see she's just a Liberal Party stooge.
I'm not supposed to be working on anything to do with your election campaign.
Yeah, can't you write it so it looks like council business? Oh, mate, one more thing. Could you ring one of my helpers and tell all my posters have been covered up again?
What are you trying to get me in trouble?
Yeah, I'll ring Harry. Must be a million things you've got to ring the Deputy Mayor about.
Name what?
It's hard to get on with sometimes, mate. George, did Greg tell you we've got an urgent meeting?
I'm travelling.
Well, as a little women's cricketer.
Drop dead, Darryl.
Yeah, oh, here it is. Yep. Yep, the rubbish in your street is picked up on Thursdays. Yep, they're definitely Thursdays. What was the name of your street again?
Greg in my office, Janice?
So telling me here. 3 messages, all from Tafe. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. I'm very well, thank you.
You're looking tired, Cole.
Don't look that tired, do I? Don't feel tired.
Oh, is that for me? I'll get Sue to bring you one. Can you make it strong enough to disinfect me from Daryl?
Before you waste too much time on Daryl, there's something on my desk that's going to make you want 2 coffees.
Yes, Cole. How long does it take to build a bus shelter?
George?
I thought you were giving it your personal attention, Greg.
Yes, insofar as it fits my job description and our corporate line of delegation.
Right, meaning?
Daryl's handling it.
Why's Daryl got anything to do with it?
Well, he is manager building
No,
contract.
he is not. We moved him out of there so he wouldn't be able to do this sort of thing.
Well, he's still acting manager building contracts.
Why?
We haven't had a chance to advertise his position.
Greg, didn't you learn in your MBA from the University of Far North Queensland, if you want a job done properly, you don't give it to a moron?
Yeah, I'm well aware you don't like him, Cole.
This is like some ancient tribal curse or something. Who is actually building the bus shelter?
Well, I'm not sure I can tell you.
Why can't you?
Well, it's commercial in confidence.
Greg, you can tell me I'm the mayor.
This is a very overheated election environment type situation,
Not Terry, is
Cole.
it?
Well, I'd have
George,
to check.
do you know?
Oh, I think it is Terry.
How could you do this, Greg?
Well, he gave a very good
Yeah,
price.
but Terry is Daryl's brother-in-law.
Which doesn't exclude him
Yeah,
from...
but that is why we were giving such a high priority to getting Daryl out of here.
I didn't think getting rid of Daryl was one of our performance
but
indicators.
Daryl's still here, and he's still giving too much work to Terry.
No, it's worse than that, I think, Cole.
Better not be, George.
I think lately he's been giving all the contracts to Terry.
Right, well, that's it. We've got him. Now, this is our #1 priority.
You're looking tired, Cole.
We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We can get rid of bloody Daryl, we can get rid of Terry, and we get someone else to build the bus shelter.
That's 3 birds.
This is our top priority. I'm not tired. Not now, thanks, Helen.
It's a major problem.
Thank you. I've already got a major
The
problem.
Arcadia News has Julie on the front page.
Julie.
Mayor's wife votes with her feet. On the eve of the local government elections, Julie Dunkley, wife of Arcadia Waters Mayor, has passed her judgment on her husband, Councillor Cole Dunkley, and walked out of a 6.5-year marriage.
May I express my personal sympathies, Cole? I didn't know Julie well, but I didn't think that she...
Oh, no, Julie didn't do this. No, this is someone up to some very nasty, dirty tricks. You don't have to think very hard to work out who that might be.
No, I meant I didn't know she'd walked out on you.
Yeah, a while ago, actually. We split up a couple of months ago. Guys, would you mind leaving me alone with this?
Not at all.
I'll be in my office.
You want anything done about Daryl?
Yes, George, get rid of him. Top priority. You really out to get me, mate? It's like all the dark forces are working against me.
It's pretty nasty. I don't know what kind of story you're going to do to top this.
Mayor's wife votes with feet.
A lot of conservative people around, they like their mayors to be happily married.
Yeah, I was trying to keep a lid on this until after the election.
You're looking a bit tired, Cole.
I haven't got time to be tired. If I don't come up with something to beat this, I could lose.
What, the election or being mayor?
Everything.
No, I've checked with that domestic waste controller. It's definitely Thursdays in your street. No, it's definitely Thursdays, sir. Thank you.
Oh, look out. Here's trouble.
Daryl. Cole's not very happy with you.
Must be doing something right, eh?
Mate, he tells me that you've been giving all your work to Terry.
Who told him that? You, George?
Oh, probably some other unhappy contractor.
Which one?
Look, mate, you can't give all the work to your brother-in-law.
I thought we were a family-friendly employer.
Daryl, what you're doing is called corruption.
Oh, I think it's called put family first.
It's also called nepotism.
It's called trying to say I'm doing something wrong.
You are doing something wrong.
Yeah, but you're looking after me, aren't you, George?
I do what I can.
Don't worry about bloody Cole, mate. He might not be the mayor come next week. He was a pain in the ass when he was at school. He's still a pain in the ass now.
Look, I realise it's late, Barry, but I don't know who else to turn to.
Better come in, mate.
Mayor breaks silence over marriage. You see, Ned? The really important news keeps your mum off the front page, so you needn't have worried. I'm on page 4, though. It's not a bad photo. This your handiwork?
All his. Are you still off sugar?
Yeah, none, thanks. I was privileged to witness a rare event as our Arcadia Waters mayor did something men rarely do. He poured his heart out to me, man to man.
Oh. Tears flowed freely as he talked to me of his private, personal pain, as well as his concern for his estranged wife, Julie, for whom he still cares a great... Oh, for God's sake. Barry, Biddy Marchant. Now, this story you've written today. No, it's a cheap political trick, and you fell for it. And you fell for it without giving me equal space. Barry, I don't care how late it was. If Cole Dunkley digs fluff out of his navel, you can ring me at any time of the day or night, and I'll give you a comment.
It's not bad, Cole.
Well, you don't think it's a bit over the top?
It's way over the top, but that's what's good about it.
Right. Well, let's hope it does some good then.
All right. Look, here's how we went, all right? We've got 4. All right. Harry, Irene, and Fran, well done. And me. All right, now listen, Biddy also got 4, so we can't really call it a win, but we didn't lose. All right. Now, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for all their hard work. There was obviously a protest vote, and Stan will miss you in council this year, but Stan and everyone who worked with Stan, you deserve a round of applause. Thanks, Stan. All right, so the reality is a hung council. We can still win control, and to do that, what we've got to do real fast is win the support of this new independent, Karen Schumacher. And I'll tell you what I'd say, when you look at who we're up against, our chances are pretty good. All right? Have a good night. It's been a big win. Congratulations to everyone, all right? Here we go.
Congratulations, darling.
Biddy, I thought you might like to say something nice to Donald. You tried so hard and...
Karen Schumacher, Biddy Marchant. Allow me to be the first to congratulate you. Well, you bet the pants off our old boy, but more importantly, you bet that pathetic time server Stan Russell. Well done.
I do have rather a lot of people around here at the moment.
Yeah, OK, we will. Bye. She didn't waste any time. She wanted to talk to me about voting for her as mayor.
Don't worry, Cole Dunkley will be next. Karen, this is great. Both sides are going to be after your vote, and you'll never have a better time to ask for what you want.
I want to be involved in planning and building.
Get in there and play politics. Don't tell them what you want until after they've made an offer first. Hello? Yes, just a minute. It's a local paper.
I suppose I should.
What happened to the champagne?
I asked Ned to do it.
I think Ned's gone out.
Hello?
Thought you might want to help her for the clean-up.
Nah, it's all done.
Yeah, sure, Cole. Ooh.
Your grovelling apologies accepted?
Have you called Karen Schumacher yet?
Nah, not yet.
No, you want to be good and sober first.
No, I didn't drink that much.
Oh.
Yeah, well, done stage 1. Nah, look, I thought I'd get Karen to come and see me in my office tomorrow. They would formally look more confident.
Yeah, maybe, Cole. But you might be giving Biddy a big head start, though.
Yeah, well, you know, this is the difference between me and Biddy, right? She's going to be all over looking desperate. I'm not. I'm going to be cool.
You're going to be cool?
Yeah, I can be cool.
You want something?
Julie.
You fraud.
What are you doing here?
You said we'd keep it all very quiet because the last thing you wanted with an election coming up was to see the headline, Mayor's wife votes with her feet.
Well, it didn't come from me.
Then on top of that, you take yourself off to the editor and blood about how hurt you are?
I didn't fake the tears.
Oh, Cole, you're a man who can fake being happily married. Oh, your students must hate you. That pile of exam papers was there 2 months ago.
No, I'll mark that pile. It's a new pile.
I'm surprised they don't burn you in effigy, but maybe that's only me talking. Maybe they understand why it's so important for you to be mayor.
Julie, I don't want to hear this.
I really only came round to pick up a couple of pot plants. I wasn't going to take them, but if I leave them with you, they'll only die. On the other hand, they're probably dead already.
Look, it's not what you think.
Doesn't matter.
I'll do this.
Yeah, I've probably got to go, actually.
Yeah, I've got Harry and Fran, Irene coming over later. Thanks, mate.
Hello. Yeah, hello, Biddy. No, not too early. I was expecting someone else, actually. Thank you, again. Well, today, well, it's very nice of you to ask, but I've got some work to do. Thank you for calling. Bye.
She won't come. But don't worry, I'm going to devote myself full time to getting her on our side.
I'll be at work tomorrow, of course, but if there's anything I can do...
Thank you, Victor.
Me too.
Thanks, Gordon.
I also will be available if you need me.
Who'd like a drink?
We need a plan.
Yeah, I got a plan.
Here's what we... See, the trouble is it doesn't work. You can't, it's buy on your own, and they don't like it. But someone else, I can go over, bunch of flowers, turn on the charm. You with me?
I think you better leave it to Cole, Harry.
Why?
Because I've got something that Biddy hasn't, right? I am the mayor. She can't play that card.
He's right, Harry.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but as well as I go over, big bunch of flowers.
No, Harry, no.
We've got 1 week.
Cole knows what he's doing.
If you don't, I mean, we're sunk. We're sunk.
Hey, listen, do you think I want to sit on council as just an ordinary councillor?
Oh, we've all done that.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it better that I'm mayor? I mean, for all of us.
Too much faith in one. Don't do it, comrade. I mean, Stalin, Mao, Whitlam. Learn the lesson of history, mate.
Interesting election. I'd say there's a good possibility we'll have Biddy Marchant as mayor. I estimate the probability at a bit more than 50%, 55, 56, somewhere there.
Would you go as high as 57?
Possibly, Liz, you could be right. But in any event, it'll be business as usual for us.
Will it? We all know Biddy's very keen on outsourcing, you know, particularly in childcare and libraries.
Yes, yes. I am aware that many of us feel that life under Biddy would be what was referred to as interesting times in the ancient Chinese curse. Yeah, but no, I've got a good working relationship with Biddy, and I'm sure we'll all rise to the occasion in a thoroughly professional manner.
So, Greg, is the purpose of this meeting to warn us that there's a chance we might need to consider the likelihood that there's a possibility for a potential change of leadership?
I think you might be having a go at me, Liz.
And you put the probability factor at a bit more than 50%, right?
In a nutshell, yes.
Thanks, Greg. I always like to be clear about why we're having these meetings.
Oh, good. Now you've caught up with the rest of us, Liz.
Stop here.
Okay.
Karen Schumacher, architect, married, doesn't say what her husband does, teenage son.
Who's the most respected person that you can think of? Like, who's someone everyone respects?
In the country, in the world, what?
Think big.
Aung San Suu Kyi, Nelson Mandela.
Right, is there any way we can get Nelson Mandela to ring Karen Schumacher?
You out of your tree?
Someone like that.
I think you're going the wrong way.
Someone Australian.
I think
Hazel Hawke.
you need someone.
Hazel Hawke.
You need someone more ordinary. In fact, a whole lot of ordinary people. If you had a lot of ordinary local residents stopping Karen in the street and saying how much they liked having you for me, that'd make an impression on her.
Right, can we do that?
Well, I can't be involved in it.
Well, why did you suggest it?
You said think big.
Is this someone's idea of clean-up week?
I told him Thursday, definitely Thursday.
Does he not understand that the basic principle of garbage collection is that we go to him and collect?
Definitely Thursday, I looked it up.
Can you tell me where the mayor is, please?
I won't want to bother him with this.
No, I've come in to see him.
He'll just tell me that I should have stopped
I've been
him.
asked to come and see him. I'm the new councillor.
Oh, sorry, right, down the hall. Mrs. Cornelio, that's his secretary. That's her name.
Okay. Good luck with this.
Mrs. Cornelio, that's her name.
Yeah, fighting.
Yes, Janice. Right, yep, I'll be out in a sec. She's here.
Who?
Karen Schumacher. Come on in, you go and take all this stuff with you, will you? What do you reckon? Let's have a look.
I thought you were going to be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, And this is our General Manager, Greg Dominelli.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our happy crew. Call me Greg.
Karen Schumacher.
Councillor Karen Schumacher.
And the first council meeting's next Monday night.
Purely for the purposes of voting for the positions of Mayor and Deputy Mayor, so you won't need to do much homework for that. But I'm sure there are many people who want to talk to you about it.
And this is... I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you go.
Oh, this is the Mayor
of Arcadia Ward is Councillor Cole Dunkley.
Yes, Cole. Good to meet you, Karen.
Hi. Well, what does one say?
Well, the least I can say is congratulations. You ran a very successful campaign.
Yes, very impressive. Karen, we have an induction process for new councillors.
Oh, yes, Janice has told me about that.
Oh, she's told you? Oh, good. Well, we'll have to find a time to induct you around then.
Thursday.
Thursday? Well, I'll have to check my diary.
I've done that. It's clear.
You've done that? Good. Well, nothing less than what we pay you for. Well, I look forward to showing you the ropes on Thursday then, Karen.
Karen, got time for a quick chat?
Not a lot, really.
1 minute.
Look, sorry about this. I've got a really busy day.
1 minute, promise. Well, welcome to council.
Thank you.
I hope you don't mind me giving you a bit of advice, Karen. There's not a very important rule about local government. Everything's important, everything. That's what people will tell you. However, you are going to have to learn to put all the important things to one side and concentrate on the vitally important things. And then you're going to have to divide the vitally important things into two groups. The merely vitally important you shove over with the ordinary important things and you forget them. Then you might have time to concentrate on the extremely critically, crucially important things. You're smiling at me.
You want to convince me that the most extremely, critically, crucially important thing for me to think about is who should be mayor.
Well, I was going to take a bit longer to get to that.
Yes, but your 1 minute's nearly up.
Okay. Look, are there any issues, any questions you want to ask, any concerns?
My main interest is planning and building.
Yes, planning and building, very important. Anything else?
That's something I'd like to be involved in.
Did you have anything in mind?
I thought you might want to suggest something.
Right. Look, well, I'm very excited by your interest in planning and building.
I hope you don't get overexcited.
Anything else?
No? Yes, why is it taking so long to build a bus shelter?
Ah, you do know it's a prototype.
Even so.
You've seen the model? You probably haven't. It's stage one of a new look urban design program. After the prototype and feedback from the community will make them standard right throughout Arcadia Waters. 163 of them.
Exactly 163?
Yes, exactly 163.
And when will the prototype be ready for public comment? You can tell me approximately, if you like.
No, look, I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a ring this afternoon, I'll tell you.
OK, I look forward to that.
Not a problem. Thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
Oh, Miss Mansoufis, there was something I was going to ask you. Oh, yes, now, are you aware that there's a rule in the staff handbook, Rule 11, I believe, which states words to the effect of staff may not engage in the political activities of the councillors?
I know all the rules.
Oh, you know all the rules? Oh, that puts a completely different complexion on the matter, because if you were breaking the rules because you were ignorant of the rules, that'd be one thing. But if you knew the rules and broke them, we'll have to see about that, won't we?
Quick question. Give me a date for the completion of the bus shelter.
Well, there is a process we have to go through.
What process? What have you been doing for the last week, Greg?
Well, we're in a contract situation, Terry.
Let me impress upon you, Greg, that this bus shelter is our top priority. How soon can we get it finished?
George?
Well, this is the priority now.
Number one, George, number one.
Not corruption.
No, what people seem to be concerned about now is this bus shelter and how long it's taking. I don't want to tell them it's going to be another 3 months.
What, who's saying this?
Well, a lot of people.
Well, if it's speed you're after, Terry has a suggestion.
I don't want to hear it, Greg.
No, he says if you want to build it faster, you should use brick.
Yeah, Greg, Karen Schumacher's an architect. She's not going to be impressed by a brick bus shelter built by Terry that looks like a country dummy.
All right, Cole. Leave it with me.
Move it, Greg. Move it. Now, at least let's finish our first term with something we can all be proud of instead of a total bloody disaster.
All right, leave it with me then.
I'm going to TAFE. I'm late already.
What sort of man do you think Biddy would make?
Don't even think of playing that game.
All right, but what were you saying the other day?
No, what I was saying was, elections are a very useful time for us. Councillors focus so much on politics, they pay no attention to us. So it's a good time to get something that you want, and they don't even notice.
Yeah, well, I know what I want.
Yeah?
I want to outsource the whole of Liz's area.
I don't think that's what you really want, Greg. I don't think you've even thought about what you really want.
So, in other words, we have to impress this new councillor with what we do and convince her subtly that outsourcing in our area, particularly in childcare, is not a good idea.
And convince her that Cole should be mayor.
Helen, for those of us who don't appreciate your special brand of humour as much as I do, would you please explain to everyone what's the one thing we can't do with our new councillor?
Talk to her about who we think should be mayor.
Thank you, Helen.
hello. Look, I was just passing and I saw these at the market down the road, so I bought one for you and one for me to brighten up your desk. Thank you. Oh, that's all. Just hello. Unless you've got time for a quick coffee.
Oh, look, not today, sorry. I've got a stack of work to do.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty busy myself, but I might be passing about lunchtime.
Sorry, I've got a huge amount of work to do.
Actually, I've got a lunchtime meeting myself, but I might be coming past around the middle of the afternoon if that's any help to you.
For what purpose?
Nothing. Just a chat. Look, Karen, you're the most interesting thing to happen to this council in years. I'm dying to get to know you.
And you'd like to know who I'm going to vote for as mayor next Monday night?
Well, there are a couple of facts I'd like to put before you which I think will influence the way you vote.
Well, I'm going into council on Thursday. What if we agree to meet there?
Thursday? Okay, I think I'll be there. Okay, I look forward to it, Karen.
Okay. Show Mrs. Marchant out, would you?
Just this way.
Daryl's making trouble.
Well, more like threats, I suppose you'd call it.
Well, what's he saying?
Well, he's a bit vague.
You got the impression he was saying what?
Well, at one point, I thought he might be referring to that holiday you took last year.
People still trying to make something out of that.
Do I know about this?
Morgan Bartok's a big developer, does a lot of work in this area. He also happens to own a few resorts in Queensland. Am I supposed to stay away from him or something?
Yeah, but was there something about you paid next to nothing for the holiday?
No.
Oh, yeah, I can see how this could be taken as some sort of bribe.
No, hey, I'll tell you what happened there. I went to that resort, very simple. Turned out I was the 1 millionth guest or something and got a lot of discounts.
The 1 million?
Yeah, something like that. Well, so what am I supposed to do?
This wasn't arranged?
Say no to a bit of good luck? No?
What do you think?
And at the time, things were not right between, Julie and myself, not real good. So we get to that resort, George. We get to that resort and, bit of good luck. I mean, what am I supposed to say to Julie? No, we won't stay in the Empress Suite. We'll go and stay in the crappy little cabin near the car park.
You got the Empress Suite?
Yeah, they had a cancellation or something.
Well, it could be misconstrued.
Got all the receipts.
Do you want me to get on to Andrew Betts?
No, I don't, Greg. I've done nothing wrong. What I want is to get rid of bloody Daryl. What's stopping us?
Look, when I said that Daryl had been warned about giving too much work to Terry, well, it wasn't an official warning. There was nothing in writing.
What's holding you back, Greg? That man is making threats against me. We found out he's corrupt. Why can't you take your Master of Business Administration and use it to get him out of here? Or at least club him to death with it.
If I could make a practical suggestion.
Please do, George.
I think if you were to offer Daryl the right amount of money...
Never.
You don't like that?
No.
I was thinking that's how we could get him out in a way that would protect you, crime.
I couldn't agree with it, George.
There's going to be no smell of anything funny about the way we get rid of Daryl.
No, we will get rid of Daryl in accordance with the manual for termination procedures.
Greg, too slow. All right, can't you do one of your restructures?
Leave it with me then.
You know, if I had control of that area, I could get somebody onto that bus shelter.
There you go, Greg. There's your restructure. Put George in charge of building contracts.
I'll look into it.
Too slow, Greg.
Leave it with me then.
How'd you like to build a really expensive bus shelter? Hey, Bill.
Could I speak to Karen Schumacher, please?
Hello?
Oh, morning, Karen. Cole Dunkley. Look, if you've read this morning's paper, at last we can see why this bus shelter's been held up for so long.
Yeah, didn't realise
The criminal world was moving in on building bus shelters.
Yeah, look, I still haven't got to the bottom of it yet, but I've just been told it's very complicated, but apparently we've discovered a corrupt individual in a key position who sabotaged this whole exercise.
Well, it wasn't exactly part of my life's ambition.
To land myself in the middle of a mess in my first week of local government.
Oh, and you won't, Karen, I'll promise you that. I mean, corruption's obviously a top priority, and obviously I'll have to deal with it.
So this will mean I'll hold up with the bus shelters?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Well, unless you think we should drop everything and concentrate on this corruption.
No, look, normally I wouldn't comment on the work of another design professional, but for a bus shelter...
It doesn't give much shelter, does it?
Right, we could look at that.
I think it's worthwhile getting right.
Well, I'd be very happy to look at it with you, Karen.
I mean, especially if we're doing
163 of them.
Yeah, well, look, we'll certainly look at it, but you agree that corruption's our top priority?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, right, well, I'll get on with it then. Bye.
Bye.
Bloody architects. Don't like the bus shelter.
What's going on?
I'd say it's Cole. He wants you and Terry out of here.
Yeah, but you're looking after me, aren't you?
Well, I'm trying to, Daryl, but you're not helping me.
Well, it looks like I just have to help myself, eh?
Well, like how, Daryl?
You tell Cole. Just because people might have stopped talking about something, they might have forgot about it, but Daryl never forgets nothing.
Is this the holiday he took in Queensland?
What holiday?
It's not Harry's air conditioner.
It's got nothing to do with Harry's air conditioning.
Well, if you want me to help you and you've got something to go on...
No, you just tell him what I said.
It's not very much, though, is it?
I can't wait to see his face when you tell him. Oh, and while you're at it, George, there's a few things I'll never forget about you either, George.
Hello?
Miss Margin, I was checking that watering system's still working okay for you?
What do you want, Daryl?
That was a bargain, eh? Oh, I got a good price on that one.
What do you want?
I mean, I got Terry to do the right thing for you, go slow in the bus shelter.
And I won't forget it. Thank you, Daryl.
Well, that's all I'm asking, Mrs. Margin. People that Daryl's done things for to remember what Daryl's done for them.
And I won't forget. Thank you, Daryl. Good night.
Because Daryl doesn't forget, Mrs. Margin.
You've got to do this one really well, mate. I want a front-page story. Cole kills corruption.
So you agree now Daryl's a crook?
Oh, look, he's going, all right? And if he decides to squawk about that holiday I had, I'll just say, no, I genuinely believe those discounts were genuine.
No, Cole.
Why not?
Well, the only way you can have a holiday at a big resort owned by a big property developer is if you pay full price for everything you get.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was a mistake at the time, but I had other worries on my mind.
Well, maybe you'll just have to come clean on it.
Look, I'll tell you what. You take care of the press release about Daryl. That is your #1 priority at the moment. I'll worry about the holiday. Yeah, Morgan, Cole Dunkley. Yeah, I hope it's not too late. No, I was out on that headland again, Morgan, and I was thinking the one reason I really want to make it back as mayor is I really want to see that development go ahead. Oh, yeah, tremendously exciting. Yeah. Yeah, well, fingers crossed, I know. But, look, one little thing that could get in the way of being re-elected. Remember that holiday I had at your Queensland resort?
Sorry I'm late.
No, it's all right.
And sorry about last Sunday. I don't know what came over me. I suppose it was reading about you being hurt and unfortunately thinking, oh yeah, typical Cole. You know, rubbish, 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 the usual. And then I thought, no, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you really were upset about it. And maybe I'm not fair to you. You're a good guy and you want to do things for other people. And if that means you want to be mayor and you can't always be interested in everything I want to do, and none of it's very important anyway. And sorry. I'm gabbing on as usual. I'll shut up. You tell me what you wanted to say.
Remember that holiday we went on in Queensland?
I do, very well.
Yeah, look, if anyone ever asks, could you say we paid full price? It's just a normal room, there's no discounts or anything? I've never really asked for your help before, so I'm in your hands.
Hi, what can I get for you?
Nothing, I'm leaving. I'm going home to Melbourne for a while. If you don't tell anyone where I am, they won't be able to find me, will they?
No, George, this corruption thing's our #1 priority. Daryl's got to go.
What about the bus shelter?
Well, I've been thinking we should get back to the drawing board on that one. No, I mean, for a bus shelter, there's not actually a lot of shelter, is there?
And if Daryl says anything about your holiday in Queensland?
No, clean on that one, George. I'll stand up to any scrutiny.
Well, unfortunately, Daryl's been raising more allegations about other councillors.
Right. You didn't tell me this, George. Look, I'm coming in, all right? As soon as I finish this class.
Karen, we keep missing each other.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But we are still on for lunch today?
Well, that sounds nice, but I'm in the middle of this induction thing and I'm already late for my next meeting.
Who's it with?
Community and Cultural Resources.
Lizzie's little piggies. I wouldn't worry about them. In fact, you'd be starting off on the right foot if you told them you're having lunch with me and you weren't available.
Well, if you don't mind, I think I'd like to get this induction thing over with.
Just don't take too much notice of what they say. Staff thinks that council exists for them. It doesn't. They're the servants, we're the masters, and if you let them think they can pull something over on you, they start to think they own the place.
Morning, Betty. Good to see you.
Pleased to hear it, Greg.
I hate to interrupt this high-level discussion, but they're waiting for Councillor Schumacher and CNCR.
But we are still on for lunch, aren't we?
Oh, if I can, I'll have to see how things go here.
Just remember, things are not what they seem.
I'm becoming aware of that.
You okay with those?
So far?
Yeah, I'm still getting to the bottom of it, but apparently Stan Rossell had a driveway and carport built at virtually no cost.
Stan's not here anymore. Next.
Oh, and Harry Bond has never had a bill for his air conditioning.
You sure there wasn't anything about anyone on Biddy's side?
No, nothing about anyone on Biddy's side.
You sure?
Yeah. So what about Harry?
Well, Harry gets a bill for his air conditioning. That's what happens to Harry.
Cole.
Hey, Greg, did you know that Daryl's been making allegations about some of the councillors?
Yeah, I got on to Andrew Betts. He's putting the frighteners on him with a very heavy bit of legal action.
Good, Greg.
Well, that's today's crisis organised. They'll all be happy now.
How soon can we get Daryl out of here?
Oh, I have got Andrew Betts working on that.
Yeah, well, why don't you just sack him and get Andrew Abetts onto that?
I'm well aware of how much you want to
Is someone
impress this
protecting
new
you, George?
councillor, but
Are they?
you know, there is a process we have to go
Greg,
through.
what does it take to get someone to do something?
There's one more thing, by the way.
There can't be.
That seems to concern you. Daryl said something about people might have stopped talking about it, but Daryl hasn't forgotten.
Janice, I'm coming out. Right, I'll take care of Daryl. Greg, I want you to tell the switch to hold all calls coming into Daryl, block all calls going out. If I need anything, I'll ring him a mobile.
Oh, you want me to come with you?
No, I do not, George. I just want you to make sure we're not disturbed. I'm not coming out until we've got a solution.
Sounds like the Middle East peace talks.
It's just the start of it. Janice, did you call the TAFE? Tell them I've only got one more class today. Can't make it in. I'll do a double next week. Oh, Greg, one more thing. Greg, coming or what?
I thought you wanted to tell me one more thing.
Yeah, I want to tell you on the run.
You want me to come with you?
Yeah, that's the idea, Greg.
I thought you wanted me to get on to Andrew Betts.
I do.
I thought this Daryl thing was urgent.
It is, but this is also urgent.
Yeah, not here, but Mr. Peterson, lots of people get the days wrong. I'll make another appointment.
Forgive me for prying, but is Daryl blackmailing you or something?
Schumacher is still in the building.
Yeah, as far as I know, yes.
Right, most important that I get to speak to her before she leaves today. And seeing as I'm going to be tied up with Daryl, can you make sure she doesn't leave the building without seeing me?
Yeah, I'll tell her.
No, I don't want you to tell her, Greg. I want you to make sure she doesn't leave the building without seeing me.
I'll tie her up and lock her in your office.
For God's sake, Greg, all I want you to do is make sure she doesn't leave the building without seeing me.
Yeah, but with all due
Where is she
respect,
now?
Cole, I left her with Liz and CNCR.
Right, maybe you should go and wait for her there.
I thought you were in a hurry to see Daryl.
Yeah, I am.
I thought it was urgent.
Yeah, but it's also urgent that I get to talk to Karen.
Cole, can we stop for a quick priority check?
No, thanks, Greg. All I want you to do with Karen is make sure she knows that I'm very busy. Something has come up, but I do want to see her before she leaves today.
I will not lobby her on your behalf.
Asking you to.
As long as that's clear.
I'm not asking you to, but mind you, Greg, wouldn't hurt you to mention the excellent work we've been doing together over the past couple of years, Greg. The restructure you're so bloody proud of, the financial systems we've put in place, the amount of change we've had here, and now the need for a bit of stability. Greg, you must understand that a change in leadership now would send all the wrong signals to the community.
No comment?
Yeah, righto, Greg. Righto. Look, one more thing. Can you, as a matter of urgency, dig out the quarterly reports to the ratepayers and photocopy my statements of achievement?
If I've got time, Cole.
It's urgent.
I thought getting legal advice from Andrew Betts was urgent.
Everything's urgent.
But I've got a huge backlog of work.
Difficult time for everyone.
There's a time when politics takes over from common sense. I'm sorry, Cole, but I had to speak my mind.
Greg, Biddy is me. She'll make you more miserable than a slug in a chook house.
Well, well. It isn't the great Pooh Bar himself come to visit the common people.
Shut up, Daryl. It's time we had a serious talk.
This is our area of greatest immediate concern. There are some councillors who believe we shouldn't be in childcare, and they'd be quite happy to see the whole lot handed out to the private sector.
I hope you're not attacking the private sector I work in.
Oh, yeah, and there are some things that the private sector does extremely well, and there are some things that the public sector does extremely well, and childcare is one of them.
OK, I'll keep an open mind on that.
Oh, right. Nothing else you don't know. You're all right. You're number one. You're squeaky clean, buddy. Or on the other hand, Daryl, we could both say there's a lot of trouble. You could be down today. You could walk out this afternoon and come back.
George? Oh. Right. Lunch for two.
I've drawn it out full size. There's a side boundary there, and there's where the side wall of the house is supposed to be. No, that's where the wall's supposed to be, but my builder made a mistake and built it here. No.
Well, what's the problem?
Well, it's not strictly speaking where it's supposed to be, the wall. It's just a little bit too close to the boundary. Just that much.
Okay, yeah, take a word for it.
That's not very much.
No, not at all.
Is Councillor Schumacher still in CNTR?
Excuse me, is that what she was?
Forget it.
The problem is one of your building inspectors has told me I've got to knock the wall down.
He said that to you?
Yeah.
One of the building inspectors said that to you?
She got him over.
I'm sorry, who are we talking about?
The new councillor.
Oh, right, I don't know. I can ask her next time I see her.
He gave me this notice saying I've got to demolish the wall.
Okay, what he's saying here is the wall here is too close to the boundary here, and you're going to knock it down and build it back here.
I don't want to knock it down.
We can move it.
If I try to move a brick wall, the house will fall over.
Okay. Oh, right. Just going up the road.
Cole. There we go.
Thanks, Janice.
So you spoke to him, right?
Tried. I rang him every day.
You rang Carl Johnson?
I've left messages on his voicemail. He won't ring me back.
Won't ring you back? Well, maybe I can get him to call you.
Will you be seeing him?
Well, I can leave a message on his voicemail.
Why will he respond to you if he won't respond to me?
Have you found Karen Schumacher yet?
I'm sorry. Is she one of the libraries?
How should I know if she's in one of the libraries?
Excuse
Ring
me.
them and find
Excuse me. I'm talking to this
He
young
hasn't
guy.
had time to talk.
No, I'm a resident.
And this young man has been very rude. I apologise. You'd think a council like this would be a good place to work, but unfortunately, the only applicants we get for staff positions here would be better off in the army or strangled at birth. Forget it. I should remember, if you want something done, do it yourself.
Is she in a relation to Carl Johnson?
Typical. OK, thanks, Janice. Well, George Hasnikoff was expecting you, but he's been called away suddenly to a meeting, and the mayor's still in with Daryl.
Is this anything to do with the story in this morning's paper?
Yes.
And what's happening with that?
Well, at the moment, I'd say it's a very delicate negotiation.
Could be a hold-up on the bus shelter job, you. However, there's plenty of other work if you want it.
You reckon Daryl's gone, eh?
Said he bugger got too greedy.
2 skins. Did you know you used to ring the tenderers and get them to put in 10% for him?
Yeah, someone did mention it.
Will you be looking for something like that yourself, George?
No, I'm not Mr. 10%. No, I think we could be a little bit more creative.
Wait there, Daryl.
What I'm up against is a backlash against outsourcing. You know, all that anti-economic rationalism stuff. But unfortunately, we haven't gone far enough.
Yes, I was being lobbied this morning about childcare and libraries.
Yeah, well, when you get into all that touchy-feely stuff, you know, they're living in the last century. They're stuck in an outmoded paradigm, if you will.
I wondered about extending outsourcing into other areas.
Oh, you want to step up the pace? Yeah, I'm for
What
it.
about your area, Greg?
Oh, but my area is management.
Wouldn't it be a very cutting-edge frontline council that outsourced its general manager?
You. Oh. Oh, George is back in his office. I'll show you there. He can explain the wonders and mysteries of the building and planning section.
How'd you go?
He's going today.
Oh, well done.
It was a tough decision, especially when, unfortunately, he started to say some worrying things about you, George. Don't worry, I won't mention a word of it, neither will Daryl.
Well, he's a colourful character.
Yeah, look, I just got to see Greg and run through the paperwork with him on it. All right, but in the meantime, Daryl is still incommunicado. Take care of that for me, George.
Done.
Thanks, George.
See it.
You can't outsource management. I mean, management's a core activity.
And who gets to decide what's a core activity?
Karen, you waiting for me?
Due to see George, I think.
Right, well, that corrupt individual I mentioned, he's out. He's out. Or he's gone. I'll just have to explain it all to Greg. Greg, come with me and I'll explain it to you. But I would like to see you, if I can, today.
Okay.
Well done.
It was a tough decision, Greg, especially when he started to say some worrying things about you.
Well, it's not true.
Don't worry. Won't repeat a word of
always
what he said.
meticulous. Whenever I get work done at my house, I always get 3 quotes and I always take the lowest.
Settle down, Greg. Doesn't your MBA teach you to take deep breaths in a paper bag or something?
If this gets out, the minister can sack the entire council staff, including upper management. I don't want something like that on my CV.
Right, so you agree we can get him out today?
Oh, you bet we can. He's out. He's gone.
Daryl.
Yes, mate.
Lunch. What happened, Del?
Nothing for you to worry about, George.
He's not that bad. He's been on the payroll.
Unfortunately, Harry started to say some very disturbing things about you.
Someone ought to take him
No,
round
no,
the...
Harry, he's leaving today.
Even so, someone ought to take him round the back of his... As a matter of fact, I know a couple of tow truck
Harry,
drivers.
problem solved. He'll be shot.
Colin? Yes, he's in his office. Hello, Janice. I'm very well, thank you, Biddy. How are you?
Thanks for coming in, Biddy. I thought we should have a bit of a chat about Daryl.
Oh, what a coincidence. I've been meaning to talk to you about him.
Right, well, unfortunately, Daryl has started to say some very worrying things about you.
What rubbish!
However, there is a solution. Daryl is leaving today.
Oh, well, yes, I've heard he's been talking rubbish lately. He's obviously become a liability.
This seems like a very odd thing to do. Usually when someone gets sacked, they get disappeared. I think Cole wants it to be a public hanging to impress the new councillor.
What a nice way to end the day.
Look, I won't hold you up for long. I shall make a very brief announcement, or rather a brief but very important speech in the history of Arcadia Waters Council. There are times when it takes you a while to realise something is wrong. Now, that's what's happened today. I went to visit Daryl in his office and I could see straight away that things were not as they should be. I won't go into details, but for medical reasons, Daryl is forced to retire early today. And in fact, go home and look after himself. Now, Daryl being Daryl, he didn't want to go, but as a long-time friend of his, I insisted. I spent the rest of the day talking to Greg and George and others on council about how generous we could be to help ease the pain of the bad news Daryl has had to learn to accept. So, I hope that with this ex gratia cheque, we can say farewell to one of Arcadia Waters' favourite sons with honour, with due pride, with respect, and very, very best wishes for the future. We'll miss you, Daryl. All the best, mate.
I get the impression that Cole's been going around the council getting support for this by telling everyone it's for their own protection.
Oh, so that's what he's been doing.
But Daryl told me, and he swore to this, that all that he and Cole talked about was what he'd got on Cole.
I wish I'd known that. We could have saved a lot of money.
Here's the headline. Cole gives crook golden handshake.
Don't give me a hard time, mate. It was a very difficult decision.
Well, don't expect me to put a positive spin on it for you.
Doesn't matter. Most important thing is he's gone.
Did Daryl mention what it was that he actually had on Cole?
No, but he's had a lot more to drink since then.
Karen seems very unimpressed with you, and I can only say I agree with her.
Thought we had an understanding on
Well,
Daryl.
things have a way of moving on, don't
What,
they?
you're not worried about what Daryl was saying about
I'll
you?
sue anyone who says a word of it. Now, what Karen would like to know, and so would I, is just how much this payout is actually costing us.
It'll all be on the public record.
Well, now, if I'm mayor, and it looks like I'm going to be, that'll make a very interesting meeting, Cole.
No, not now, mate. I've had enough for one day.
You better come in, it's Daryl. Find out what happened inside Daryl's office next week on Grassroots.
Well, well, but isn't the great Pooh Bar himself come to visit the common people?
Yeah, shut up, Daryl. It's about time we had a talk.
I think a change in leadership might not be a bad thing. I mean, I like Cole. It's hard not to, but I'm not sure he's up to the job. Are you?
The only hope of that is by getting rid of Cole Dunkley. Everything around here is a payoff to some left-wing Labor crony, and I'm not talking about money changing hands. I'm talking about serious corruption, and I've been on the verge of going to the police on many occasions.
Thank you, councillors. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. And welcome to the ballot for the election for the positions of Mayor and Deputy Mayor for the next 12 months for Arcadia Waters Council.
On the other hand, I can start telling a few people a few things I know about you.
Hey, no one's going to be interested in what you've got to say about me.
Well, you don't reckon anyone's going to be interested in a big sex scandal?